So first you're going to write the area. So it could be personal, it could be career, business. I'd like you to write down the risk that you took and the payoff that you got from it. And again, it could be in your personal or professional life, large risks, small risks. A couple things that come to mind, perhaps those that you're most proud of. Some smiles so people are remembering some great things that they did. Okay, great. So I'd like to have some of you share briefly what you put. You could just, one of the things that you wrote down, just very, very succinctly, the area of your life that it involved, the risk that you took, and just briefly what the payoff was, or what the benefit was, or what the gain was from it. So who would like to start? I need hands. There you go. Ian.
10 years ago, I opened my own business. I worked as a real estate broker for other people for 20 years, and then opened my own business. It paid off.
Okay, great. Yeah, so after 20 years in real estate, you opened your own company.
In the United States.
In the United
The other
States.
big risk was when I moved to the United States 30 years ago. From Northern Ireland. Big risk.
Wow. So that is like moving from Northern Ireland to the United States, huge risk for you, right? In your personal life, and then starting your own real estate company 10 years ago.
Yep.
Okay, great. Great examples. Who else would like to go? Yeah.
In the world of small worlds, I moved to Prague too.
You moved to Prague
At
too?
the same time, I think we were there.
Oh, you're joking. What street did you live on?
I lived in Prague 6, and I lived in Prague 2.
You lived in Prague. Yeah, Prague is divided into like district numbers. So you were Prague 2. I was in Prague 2 too for a while, so maybe.
And I worked in Prague 1. So.
And what year was that?
92 through 94.
Wow. We were there at the same time. That's like that weird, what do they call that? Like 20 years later, we were in the same room.
Small world.
So that was probably a huge risk for you that you took.
Same thing, packed the bags.
Yep.
Bought a one-way plane ticket.
Yeah, one-way plane ticket.
So I understand. And it launched my career.
Cool. And the payoff that you got from that?
It launched my career.
It launched your career. Wow. That's terrific. Who else? Want to take a few more? Don't be shy. Yes.
So I'm a chemical engineer and had early success in my career when I came to this country. So I was in a senior management position 15 years ago, decided to quit my job and start my own company, which is now a pretty sizable company. And I'm very proud that I took that risk, which was a tremendous risk, by quitting my job and forming my own company.
Yeah, so quitting your job and forming your own company 15 years ago. And now you have a very successful firm on Europe?
Manufacturing industrial chemicals.
Manufacturing industrial chemicals. Perfect. So you sort of just took your educational background and launched your own business.
Sure. And on the personal side, politics always interested me. So I decided to run for public office.
Ah, wow, that is a risk, isn't it? I've done that twice myself in my past, and that takes a lot, right?
And just finished serving my third term as the mayor in New York, and that was a wonderful experience. Again, a big risk, but it taught me a lot of leadership skills. It taught me a lot of things as to how local government is run.
Yeah.
And a wonderful experience, and grew me as an individual.
Wow, that's great. So yeah, running for office and holding a public office and working in local government and the personal rewards from doing that and the contribution, the difference that you made in your community.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, great. How about one more? Who else did one of these back tables? And make sure that we're all the way back here. Who would like to share something back here? A risk that you took, payoff. Somebody? Okay.
So in '97,
James.
my wife and I were in the music business in California, and we decided to do a life change. And so we are at the company we were with pre-IPO, and left, packed everything in our car. I drove across the country, bought a sailboat, took a year off, and went sailing. So the opportunity cost was going for their IPO ride, which we missed. But the company ended up going bankrupt, and the music industry
Wow, so that's a huge thing, right? There's like multiple things going on. So you're leaving that company pre-IPO and leaving that potential opportunity, sailing for a year, and then starting a software company. Awesome. All right, great. So what I'd like you to do now is we're going to break up into pairs. So pick a partner sitting next to you, and one will be A and one will be B. The person with the shorter hair is A, okay, or no hair is A. If you're both no hair, I don't know. But have an A and a B, and I'd like the A to go first. I'd like you to take 1 minute, just 1 minute briefly, and tell B an area of life where you took a risk, what the risk was, and what the payoff was. And then I'll tell you when to switch after a minute so that B will have a chance. So A's go first. Now what I want to do is I want to have you look at areas of your life where you aren't taking the risk, or you aren't taking the risk to the extent that you would like to. And have you take a look at that for a moment. So in your workbook, what I'd like you to do is, well, first I actually wanted to share something from my own life about an area that I'm sort of stopped a little bit and hesitant about. And that's actually in my personal life. It's in dating. Because I was in a relationship for 6 years, and I've been out of that for like another 6 years, and I've been dating some, but not nearly as much as I would really like to. And one thing that's stopping me in terms of like taking a risk is like I'm not taking as many risks as I would like in the area of like going up to somebody and starting to talk to them, you know, that I don't know, asking somebody out, getting to know somebody that's a complete stranger. Like I'm really not taking the kind of risks that I would like to in that area, and it's something that I've been working on. So what I'd like you to do for yourself is to, you know, look and see, you know, areas. It might be in work, business, career, but it could also be with your home, and your spouse, and your family, in social settings, or in your leisure time. I'd like you to write down 2 areas where you aren't taking the risks you want to, and what the action risk is that either you're contemplating, or you're hesitant about taking, or that you've been mulling over, or that you wanted to take for years and years but you haven't, what that risk is. And write that in your notebook. And of course, it goes without saying that these notebooks are yours to keep. No one's going to collect them or see them but you, so they're private. Write whatever you would like to write. And take a couple minutes to do that. So the area of your life that you're hesitant about taking risks in, and what the risk or the action is. So for example, it might be, for those business owners here, it could be, for example, well, I want to expand my business, hire more employees, grow my office space, but I'm hesitant to do that. That could be one. It could be in their personal life, maybe with your spouse. You know, like there's something I've been wanting to say to them for many, many years and I haven't, and like that. So take a couple minutes and write that down. 2 areas. And I invite you to be, like, in this moment right here, this next couple minutes, is to be insightfully straight with yourself. Like, really tell the truth to yourself about a couple things that you've been limited in taking risks in. Because we're going to then go into a section looking at why you are limited in those areas, and I'm going to have some things to suggest. So it would be very helpful if you had a couple of those things in mind as we go into the next section.